Hallo und herzlich willkommen zurück zu Let's Play, das Stanley Parable. Die Stanley Parable. Oh ja, wir sind wieder hier im Büro von Stanley 427 natürlich. Und ich stelle mal kurz den Timer auf meinem Handy. Moment. Start. So, 20 Minuten. Letzte Folge war ein bisschen länger, die war, glaub 32 Minuten lang oder so. Auf jeden Fall geben wir jetzt Gas. Los geht's.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room to check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself and constantly needed support and guidance from others, so the thought of total solitude was terrifying to him. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Okay. Mamma mia. Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his
Ich habe gesagt, ich gehe noch in den Facility-Dingens. Aber ich gehe noch mal hier lang. Vielleicht habe ich ja noch was
This
übersehen.
was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Okay.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Der hätte gesagt, dieser ja genau, Zaun. Dieser Strauch da. Diese Pflanze, die wird noch wichtig in der Story. Ich bin mal gespannt, wann. What the?
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Okay. Do not jump from the cargo left while it's in motion will cause death. Penalty for jumping off the ground. Alles klar, gehen wir mal rüber.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for
Vorher? What for? Wer's hör?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life.
Fuck.
She's been waiting.
Oh nein, dunkler Raum. Nie gut.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Okay, ich habe einfach mal aufgenommen, ne? Abgehoben. What the?
Oh,
What?
Stanley, is that you? Hold on,
Good.
sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about...
What the?
Gotcha! Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here. This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Aha. Aha. Okay. Gut. The fuck? Häng ich jetzt fest? Nee. Ich weiß gerade nicht, was ich machen muss. Bin ich jetzt ein bisschen dumm? Ich bin noch im Fenster. Was muss ich jetzt machen? Ich will jetzt hier raus. Hä? Ich blick's grad nicht. Oh. Press B on your cable. Nein. 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 Fenster auf. B.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
Okay.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home.
Tschüss.
Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
Null oder O? Null.
But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful, and each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Please eat to watch TV.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
To spend time with the boys. Oh, null. Null.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
To prepare dinner. Okay. LOL.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations.
Ich wusste, ich hab was vergessen.
Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby.
What?
And he called it the Stanley Parable.
LOL. To tell your kids a story.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Plus 9 to tell your wife you love her. LOL.
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
Just try to go sleep.
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, The next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Siehst du gerade, ich soll es nicht machen. Na gut.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Start press to question now.
I suppose I can't. Not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must.
Oh, ja.
Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again.
This time.
And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I
Wir sind tot. What the fuck? Das ist wieder, Alter. Künstliche Frau oder was?
All of his co-workers were gone.
Oh ja.
What could it mean?
I don't know.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Hä? Hä? Ich richtig? Ja. Ich bin gerade voll verwirrt. So, jetzt gehen wir nochmal zu dem Cargo-Lift und gucken, was passiert, wenn wir runterspringen.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
So.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the... But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Oh, okay. Nichts passiert, wir sterben. Alles klar, haben wir es auch ausprobiert.
All of his co-workers were gone.
What could it mean?
What could it mean?
Jetzt gehen wir nochmal.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Pissed, genau. Simply pissed a memo. Oh ja.
When Stanley came to a set of 2
Yeah,
open, this was not the correct way to the meeting
way.
room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Yeah.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first,
So,
just to admire it.
Marriage. Oh ja.
The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on
Gut,
his
dann machen wir
left.
das mal. So.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Okay. Oh. Okay, gehen wir halt so lang.
Yet there was not a single person here
Hier waren
either.
wir schon. Letzte Folge.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Okay. Wie viel Zeit haben wir noch? 5 Minuten, alles klar. Okay. LOL! Ich kann die aufmachen.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Ich will nicht back on track gehen.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
Ich will noch kurz hier bleiben.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA. Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
Schön hier.
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it.
Na gut, ich geh raus. Okay.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay. Was ist das denn? Nichts. Okay. Alles klar. Was haben wir hier? Pflanze. Okay. Na gut, also jetzt seht ihr hier.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 284. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Alter.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly
Lol.
walked forward into the opened passageway.
Wo geht's denn hier lang? Nirgends, okay. Hier ist dunkel. Gut, dann müssen wir wohl oder übel. Facility irgendwas. Loading, oh yeah. Alter, nicht Scheiß. Alter. Das Spiel ist so crazy. Bestimmt gibt's da noch eine neue Welt und whatever. Ich glaube nicht, dass das Ende ist.
Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Okay. Dum dum dum.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Sofort. Was soll die 914 hier bedeuten? Escape, da letztes Mal schon. Mind Control Facility. Warte. Alles klar. What? Ah, war klar. Okay. Ach du Scheiße.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Das war's mit der Zeit, aber ich kann jetzt hier nicht einfach Pause machen, ihr wird ja voll enttäuscht und so, hallo? Oh mein Gott. Kann ich nicht lesen. Schade. Kaffee. Alles klar. Dann drücken wir mal die Kamera. What the fucking... Da oben war ich mal. Feiert.
Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen. And Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Alter. Alter, what the fuck? So. Aber was hier passiert, seht ihr dann in der nächsten Folge, wenn wir dann auf diesen Knopf drücken. Ich habe Angst. Ich glaube, es bringt mich nach oben. Und ja, creepy Game, einfach nur Brainfuck. So, bis dann. Tschüss.